Hello and welcome back to 4:3 aspect ratio. Today's video, I have a bunch of shit written down. I have like a bunch of videos that I could be doing. Instead, we're doing a video called Why My Computer is Better Than Yours. I'm not talking about this computer. This computer is dog shit, barely even functional as a computer. Don't worry about it. I have it for reasons. I'm talking about this computer. Why is this computer better? Why my computer is better than yours? We're just gonna go down the list of every single reason why my computer is better than yours. Can't change that while I'm recording. Okay, epic moment. So number one reason why my computer is better than yours is because it's a ThinkPad X200 and 20, X220. Now, that is one of the best computers that you can have. There's basically two of the best laptops you can have, the ThinkPad X200 and the ThinkPad X220. I own both, I've used both, one of them doesn't function anymore, broken motherboard. Could fix it if I wanted to, haven't been bothered to yet. That's the thing. The two best laptops ever made are the ThinkPad X200 and ThinkPad X220. I've used both, and I have to say they're almost exactly the same in every single way, as in terms of functionality, you're not really going to find functions that one has that one doesn't. They basically offer the same advantages for either one, except if I remember correctly, the X200 has the advantage of being live rebootable. I don't know if the X220 is live rebootable. I'm not entirely sure on that. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. So that might be one advantage the X200 has over the X220, but then again the X220 has an advantage over the X200 in that the X200 notoriously has problems with the hinge joint of the opening screen getting loose over time, whereas the X220 fixed that problem. As far as I'm aware, it's fixed that problem because I do not have any problems with my hinge joint, whereas I had those problems on my X200, so other than that, you're pretty much going to get the same functionality in both of those computers. They're both kind of semi-minor problems. So yeah, the X220 and the X200, I'll just say, are basically the best computers you can get, the best laptops at least that you can buy. This is widely known. I don't really have to explain it, but I can do some explaining if you want. So they are. Where do I even begin? They're just sensibly designed. They're just very sensibly designed. So everything about them is well thought through. So firstly, the ThinkPad track point, like the clit as people call it, or the nipple, is very good because it means you can navigate the mouse without leaving the home row, which is good for people who, it's good for a laptop where you're not going to necessarily have an external mouse at all times. And so you're going to have your hands on the home row generally when you're typing, so you don't really have to move your hand all the way down to a trackpad and fuck with that. It works much better, it's more efficient, more effective, and it doesn't take much time to get used to. Once you get used to it, you're pretty much as good as using a regular mouse or trackpad. So that's one advantage. Secondly, the keyboard. It has the best feeling keyboard of any laptop. This is also widely known. Everyone knows the X200 and the ThinkPads in general from before a certain point have the best feeling keyboards of any laptop. They're basically the best keyboards you can get on the laptop, best feeling, and they're very well designed. Secondly, it's compact and light. It's very light and it's very small, but it also does everything you need it to do very well. Thirdly, it has every port you can possibly need. It has all of them. It has all the ports you could need, unlike this guy, which has like no fucking ports. That was my Mac I was gesturing to. I don't know if you could see that, but no fucking ports. This has every port you could need, really. Let's be honest. Okay, next, it's just sensibly designed for replacement. It's very easy to take everything apart, replace parts, interchange them, do stuff like that. It's very easy to understand where these things are, and those things are positioned in a sensible way. So, for example, the heatsink, if I show you, the heatsink is on this side of the computer, whereas your hard drive is on this side of the computer. So it prioritizes protecting your hard drive above everything else. Everything is like your hard drive, your data, the importance level in your computer is far away from the heatsink, which, if the computer overheats, is the place where it's going to get most hot. Also, everything is easily accessible, as you can see. So, for example, if I want to upgrade my RAM, I can just open. There's a little box on the bottom. Takes 3 screws to open that and access the RAM. The battery is obviously interchangeable. That sounds like it shouldn't be a feature, but it is apparently a feature these days. The battery is interchangeable. You can just not hot swap, but you can swap batteries easily. The hard drive is accessible and interchangeable with just 1 screw. Everything is very good. It's a very good computer. It's the best computer, in fact. It's the best one. I have now. Why is my now? If you also have an X220, Here's why my X220 is better than yours, because yours probably uses this, which is a 6-cell battery. Oh shit, this is kind of falling apart. I think that's kind of dangerous. It's a fire hazard. Your probably has a 6-cell battery, whereas mine uses this chunky motherfucker, a 9-cell battery pack, which means mine lasts for much longer, lithium ion of course, and you can see that sticking out the back, so mine has better battery than yours. Mine also has the terrible touchpad disabled, because no one even uses that. So that's why my hardware is better than yours. Now let's talk about why my software is better than yours. So firstly, I use Manjaro Linux. If you use Windows, then you know why are we even talking? But GNU Linux is just in every possible way objectively superior to Windows. I don't think you can even make an argument that it's not. I've never heard a good one anyway, or one that applies to me. So yeah, I use Linux, which makes me better than you already, you know, if you use Windows, but if you use a different distro, here's why I'm better than you anyway. So I use Manjaro, which is, you know, a variant, it's based on Arch. Why you might think if you use Arch that you're better than me for using Arch. Please explain why. Please explain what advantage Arch has over Manjaro, other than being harder to install. And it's not even hard to install, I've done it. It's not difficult. I used Manjaro because it has everything I want, and it doesn't take a bunch of my fucking time to set up, which is just annoying. That I don't understand the reason to ever use Arch over Manjaro, because Manjaro, being an Arch-based distro, has all the advantages of Arch without a lot of the problems of Arch. So the advantages of Arch are, in my opinion, firstly, in my opinion, distros don't matter that much. People very much get overexcited about distros and talking which distro is best, blah blah blah. I don't think distros matter very much. I think most things in Linux are modular, and you can swap them out for whatever you want. So you know, you shouldn't really worry too much about what distro you're using, in my personal opinion. But I think Arch-based distros are superior for, basically the biggest advantage of using an Arch-based distro is the packages. So first it uses Pacman, which is the best package manager, and secondly you have access to the AUR, the Arch User Repository, which is a huge collection of great software that you can download, and it's very easy and usable and not Flatpak, which is great. So yeah, you have access to the AUR, which is a great library of software to use, so that's why Arch-based distros are superior. Now, as to why I don't use Artix or Arch or other Arch-based distros, again, they just take a lot of time to set up, which time is something I value, and I don't really understand what particular advantage you get over Manjaro for inputting all that time. You see, I like to put a lot of time into things where the output gives me some advantage, but I don't really understand what advantage Artix, I suppose, doesn't have systemd. I'm not particularly fussed about systemd. I don't worry about it too much. In fact, I don't love it, but I think it works and does what it needs to do, so I don't really find it to be too much of a problem. If you do find it to be a problem, you know what? I'll give you a pass. I'll give you a pass. I will actually say, you know what, that's a fair point. I still don't think your computer is better than mine, but that's a reasonable opinion to have. But I personally don't really care too much about systemd. So yeah, if you have a reason that Arch is superior, and you know you want to tell me in the comments, then tell me, because you know maybe I'll switch to Arch. But so far I've looked around and I see no reason to move from Manjaro, which is perfectly. It just feels like Arch to me. I don't feel any difference over to Arch. I don't see why. Maybe Manjaro comes with a bunch of bloated programs that you know you don't want to use if you're trying to run a minimal. I delete all of them. I don't need them, so I get rid of them. You know, that's an advantage. Okay, so next up, here's why my computer is better than yours. Let's talk about some more details of the software. So, firstly, as you can see, my wallpaper is the best wallpaper that you'll see. I'm going to turn the brightness up real quick so you can see it a bit better. There you go. Okay, so firstly, my wallpaper is the best wallpaper. It's very comfy, it's relaxing, it's green, it's just the best one that it's better than yours. My wallpaper is better than yours. It's not weeb shit. My wallpaper isn't weeb shit on this computer because it's better than yours. Because I'm not a poser. So yeah, it's a comfy place. with trees and a nice cabin. That's why mine's better than yours. Then secondly, my polybar setup is nice and comfy. There is no bloat there. It tells me everything I need to know. I use AM PM time 12-hour clock, not 24-hour clock. That's why I'm better than you. That's one thing. Secondly, my window manager is SXHKD. I mean, sorry, fuck. That's my window manager is BSPWM and SXHKD, which is better than your window manager if you're using anything else. It's better than i3. It's more minimal than i3. Sticks stricter to the Unix philosophy than i3, and it's more usable than DWM. So my window manager is superior to yours. I have a lot of great keybinds that let me do everything I want to do. You have to fucking click buttons. I just press buttons. Keybinds are superior to mouse inputs because a mouse input is continuous, whereas keybinds are discrete. So mouse input is continuous data, which is imprecise, whereas keyboard presses are discrete data, which is extremely precise. That's why keyboard presses are superior to mouse input. And I have many keyboard shortcuts which make my laptop better than yours. So let's close everything I have open right now. Oops, I just realized okay, whatever. Let's close everything I have open right now. So let's say I want to open my browser. Super F opens my browser. What browser do I use? I use Qt Browser because I'm better than you and my computer is better than yours. Qt Browser is a very good browser because it allows me to use Vim-like key bindings in my browser. I also use Vim, which is another reason I'm better than you. Or my computer is better than yours. And also I'm better than you. Qt Browser is a very good browser. It's very minimal. It runs quickly, and it's free open source software. Of course, not owned by it's not Firefox, which is really just Mozilla, which is really owned by Google, and they have Mozilla do have their own problems. I know Mozilla, a lot of people like them, but just remember that Mozilla is mostly funded by Google as controlled opposition, and also they do some pretty sketchy things. There's a million people that will talk about why Mozilla do some pretty sketchy things. But yeah, I don't use Firefox. I don't use IceCap because it breaks websites. I don't use Tor for everyday browsing because it clogs up the network. There are reasons why I use Qt Browser because it's the best browser. So I use Qt Browser as my internet browser. Qt Browser obviously is Vice to fit my theme. So Super F opens Qt Browser. What else can I do? I can Super Shift E will open Element. Now I have Element. I use Element as my Matrix client. I use Matrix to communicate with my friends. Matrix is better than the protocol you're using, most likely, because it's end-to-end encrypted and it's free open source and it's decentralized. And it also can do pretty much everything that Discord can do, but better and for free. So you should probably switch to Matrix of some kind if you want to be doing communication. Other platforms are acceptable, but please stop using Discord. So I can open Matrix and talk to my friends that way. Something else useful is Super P, which will let me open my file browser, and Super Shift P, which I'm not going to be able to press with one hand, which opens my real file browser, which is Ranger. Now, Ranger is not the best file browser, actually, but even that flaw in my computer is still better than yours. Also, please pay attention to how cool my Rice is. Look how good everything is and how good it looks. That's something that you should take into account. So you see how nice everything is? You see how everything's really nice? You see how I have nice gaps, but I'm still maximizing screen real estate? You see how I can open up Qt Browser, and Qt Browser is riced really nice and well. Like if I open up YouTube, and I open up R9K, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Or I don't need to open up R9K, I can just open up anything, doesn't matter. I have more keybinds. I made it full screen with one press of a button instead of having to be fucking with shit. So look, everything looks nice. See how everything looks nice? Do you understand how everything looks nice? Do you see this? Now, I would never actually use this website, but you'll see that in a minute. See how everything looks nice? You see how it's all monochromatic? Monochrome is the best color scheme because it doesn't clash with anything. You'll notice it's mostly how I dress as well. Doesn't clash with anything, and all information is extremely clear. Now, I'm not afraid of color. That's another thing that's important. Although I use a mostly monochrome color scheme, I'm not afraid of color, which is the advantage of monochrome, because when you actually do use color, you use it for something important, and it stands the fuck out, and you notice it. If most of your color scheme is black and white, when you get a red error message, you're not going to be able to ignore it. You can, it draws your attention. When you get a notification, it draws your attention, blah, 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 blah. That's one reason why my computer is better than yours. You'll also see my transparency on my terminal is the perfect amount where you can see I'm not a LARPer with insane amounts of transparency on my terminal. Instead, I'm a person who actually uses the terminal and uses a reasonable amount of transparency. But of course, your terminal has to have some transparency. I don't trust people who don't have transparent terminals. EuroXVT is my terminal. It's the best terminal. I use the font Eosevka or Eosevka on my computer. It's the best font that you can use as well. What else is good about my computer? I can open up all sorts of programs. For example, here's my Newsboat keybind. This will open up Newsboat. Newsboat is what I use instead of YouTube. So I can now have all of my YouTube videos here on Newsboat, and I can open them up all with keybinds. Do you see? I have not pressed the mouse once yet in my video. I have not clicked yet. No clicks have happened. Everything is keybinds, and now I'm watching a YouTube video in MPV with no ads, no sponsors, nothing. Yeah, oh yeah, by the way, no sponsors, because I'm using Sponsor Block for MPV. So I can obviously access Newsboat using only this. Also, Newsboat has Vim keys, which is nice. So, there we are, using Newsboat. I can exit that, but say I want to search for a YouTube video. Well, don't worry, we've got that sorted. Oh look, it's opening in D menu. D menu, I can search for, no, thank you. And boom, now, here we go. I'm opening no thank you music in, oh, look, wait for it. It's a little slow, but this is how slow it would be. It's not any slower than loading a web page. In fact, it's faster. It's just that my internet is not that fast. Look, and now we're playing my song. And did you notice something that happened there? There was not a single browser in sight. I didn't have to open a bloated web browser to do something that doesn't need an entire web browser to do. I don't need to render a whole web page to do that. I just need to play a YouTube video. So why open a web browser for that? I have other programs that can do the same thing faster and more efficiently and more according to the Unix philosophy. My Rice is better than yours for a number of reasons. Firstly, everything is small but not unreadable. Maximizes screen real estate whilst not having moments of tension where things are too close and there's enough space between everything. Everything is nice calming colors, but not stupid calming colors. I'm not afraid to use actual solid black. I'm not one of those people that uses fucking weird, like 11111 hex codes for instead of black. I'm not scared of that. I use fucking black because I want it to be dark and black, and that makes the contrast good, so I can see what the fuck I'm doing very easily. So that's another reason why my computer is better than yours. I could just continue why my computer is better than yours. There's just an infinite amount of reasons why my computer... Even things that make my computer worse than yours make it better than yours. The fact that it's an old computer from like 2008 and can't run modern games makes it better than yours. Because while you're sitting there playing fucking Valorant, I'm over here playing Unreal World, which is a better game. So that's one thing that makes my computer better than yours. And it can still run Quake 3 Arena, and it can still run Unreal Tournament, and those are really the only games that you need to be playing anyway. So there's that about my computer which makes it better than yours. I have 7 workspaces, which is the ideal number of workspaces. Anything more is too distracting, anything less is not enough. What else makes my computer better than yours? It's better organized than yours. All of my images are sorted in very, they've sorted well. Like my anime images, I have pictures, then under my pictures directory is 2 directories, random and otaku. Random is just a folder with no organization of just random images, because that's where I go to dump images that I download. That's useful because, I'm very rarely going to be searching for an old image in that folder. That's normally when I'm going to go just download something. I need to put it in somewhere without having to click through a million directories for the specific meme format that it's in. I'm just going to be posting it quickly. Memes tend to get outdated very quickly anyway, so there's no reason to have that folder particularly well sorted. Especially because I don't save that many memes anyway, or random images anyway. And then I have an otaku directory under my pictures directory, and in the otaku directory every image is sorted by show and then by character, so it's very easy for me to find any particular reaction images that I might want to see. So that's another reason why my computer is better than yours. I think that's a pretty solid explanation of why my computer is better than yours. It has a light on it. That's one thing that makes it better than yours. Does your computer have a light on it? Probably not. Probably doesn't have a light on it. Probably doesn't have that. Probably can't do this. Can you start a rave just by spamming buttons on your computer? I don't think you can do that. I honestly don't think you can do that, but I can do that. And you can't. There's a lot of cool things I can do with my computer. Some of them I can't show you. For example, I can open... Well, yeah, there's not really any reason for me to show you that. My computer has a fingerprint reader that I don't use. That probably makes it better than yours. It's hardy. You could drop it. Probably won't break. It's not designed to break either. Like, you can see my charger has a nice big rubber coating on it so that it doesn't get frayed. That's pretty good. My Mac doesn't have that. That cost about 10 times more than this. This one's better in every single way, pretty much. It has everything you need from a computer and nothing else. It doesn't have anything bloated in it. It's great. I'm pretty sure that's why my computer is better than yours.